Do you want to do a podcast? We make a darn good team. It always goes without a hitch. Let's head to Twitch and go start up the stream. Do you want to do a podcast? It's the Nerd Glasses Podcast. Let's start now. Hi everyone and welcome to the Nerd Glasses Podcast. Come?
Alright, I'll do my own bits myself.
Oh wait, no silence.
We're doing it.
Get off the road.
Hey Dave,
Yes, Booker.
this is the point where I usually tell a joke, but in this case, I am going to play a joke. Dave, have you ever heard of the Towers of Hanoi?
No. Well, just no.
Okay. In this game,
Okay.
you take the discs that are stacked biggest to smallest
Okay.
and move them from one peg to the other, one at a time, never having a larger one on top of a smaller one. I'm going to go easy mode on you. We'll get rid of two of those. No, don't go away.
Okay.
The reason I bring this out, go ahead and start, is that the game Jade Empire, which is a BioWare game from the 2000s, thus had the Towers of Hanoi in it, is 16 years old. And did you know that if you had 29 discs on one peg, it would take 16 years to complete the game? With 5, it should just take you 30 seconds. Go ahead.
So I can't place a larger tile on top of a smaller one.
Correct. Ooh, I remember this from Pugmire. Yes, this is the exact same set that I used. Or you can just say, no, Boater, I'm not playing your stupid game. And we can move on. I like that you're considering it, though. This is kind of like a classic
So
puzzle.
can I only move one tile at a time?
You can only move one tile at a time, yeah.
Okay. And the goal is to get.
The goal is to get them from, we'll say any, from this peg to either of the others, stacked back up like that. In fact, I'm going to do this super easy mode for you. You got 3.
Okay. I'm still trying to figure out where the explosion happens, or things like that, because this is 2021 and this is what happens. Things blow up and people shout and scream and run out of the.
And then there's a microtransaction somewhere.
I win.
He has, in some extent, in a certain way, stacked them from largest to smallest. Congratulations. I did this myself one time, like taking it. This is a 7-disc set, and I took about 5 minutes to do it the one time that I just tried to do it myself. It's fun, and I've done
That's cool.
I've done it way too many times because it's BioWare's favorite puzzle, to the point where in the Citadel DLC for Mass Effect 3, you get to walk into an arcade and there's a bunch of games to play, and there's Towers of Hanoi, and you can walk up to it, and when you hit the button, Shepard's like, Towers of Hanoi? I don't think so. These roll really well. I'm still going. Okay, I hit the wall.
Those anime intros when they're like, haha! Oh no, I'm still going off the screen!
Dave waiting for the Bugs Bunny stuff. No. It's not Bugs Bunny. Where's the kaboom?
Where's the kaboom? Where is the earth-shattering kaboom?
So, yes, I didn't have a joke prepared, but I brought a prop, so hey, there it is.
Interesting.
Towers of Hanoi. Maybe on the Citadel, if people want, I'll do the full 7-disc one. It's like, look, it's a thing that can be done.
Don't leave that here or I'll never get any work done.
Y'all should know I solved it with 5. So, More Like Rigor Mortis mentioned it as in an RPG campaign. I set it up as a puzzle that was in a dungeon, and I had them roll some intelligence check or whatever, and whatever their result was resulted in how many discs were stacked up for them to work on. And I think they ended up doing like a 4-disc one, and there's a shot on my Instagram of them solving it and deliberating. So,
nice.
Good times. Anyway, hi everybody, welcome to the Nerd Glasses Podcast. I'm Boater. And that was Dave. Thank you, Dave. I just realized we haven't actually introed as far as what we're even doing here. We spent 5 minutes talking about the Towers of Hanoi. Again, I mentioned that because Jade Empire, 16 years old as of yesterday.
Cool.
And I really need to play that game again. In fact, it's been long enough since I played an RPG on my YouTube channel that I might have forgotten the pain of RPG birth and might have to do it again. And Jade Empire would definitely be the next one that I do. I would love to have you along for the ride, but we need to finish both Prey games first.
Although how easily those games yield to, hey, let's make just a 30-minute video on YouTube 2.5 hours later, and now we'll press X to start the game.
At least that game doesn't have a full character creator. You have 7 portraits to choose from, and that's it. So that's something at least. That's a little streamlined. Yeah, anyway.
I've gotten so classically trained about the way we do things here at Insane Games that I was fully expecting I was going to move the piece and
and then I'd have a confetti popper or
someone
something?
was just going to run in and bat it off the table or
I paid $20 for that set, dude.
or something underneath it was going to lift it up and dump it or you were going to just
or those impossible or the useless box things where you push a switch and it pushes it back. You move the disc over and then it just puts itself back.
Yeah, the pin retracts and it falls on the ground where it's oh, I guess that wasn't the right move. I guess that wasn't the right move here.
It hates you. Yeah, there's someone made a chart if you had 100 discs, how long would it take to do at a rate of 1 move per second? And the answer is many, many, many times longer than the life of the universe.
Makes sense.
More than billions. Well, we're in sextillions or something.
Because it's that that mathematical mental paradox of a servant wins a bet with the king and asks for 1 grain of rice a day, and the rice is to be doubled after each day.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things of that doesn't make any sense. And then you sit down and you start considering the numbers of okay, 2, 4, 6, 8. Oh my God.
I don't know the word for numbers going this high. For 100 discs, it's 40, 196, 936, 841 trillion 331 billion 500 million.
So your chances of getting a next gen system on GameStop, Best Buy,
right now.
That,
yeah. Yeah.
Actually, those aren't the chances for that one. It's the chances of walking into a store and there being a physical PS5 or Xbox Series X.
Yeah, let me
in
see
the
here.
store.
That's 1,000 million billion. I'm looking for where 4 billion years is, and that would be if you had 57 discs. It's a fun math thing to figure out how many moves for the ideal number of moves. If you mess up somewhere, God help you.
Well, think about that. It's how many times have all of us done strategy games where, and I cannot tell the amount of times when playing chess I've done this, where you sit and you really put the effort in, the brain power to consider 2 moves ahead and what they can do, and then you make the move, you take your hand away, and then you realize you have undone 2.5 hours worth of work with 1 move, and it's one of those if I could have it back, but I can't, and it's over.
Life needs an undo button. That was the thought going through my head when I dropped my phone and shattered my screen. I'm why doesn't life have an undo button? Anyway, hey, we're 15 minutes in. Let's get to some topics. How about a Twitch ban, Dave?
Would love to hear. I hope poor Danny Sexbang is okay.
I haven't heard any news there one way or the other. I think that just blew away like a fart in the wind. We're going to go with... I gave you a choice of 2 terrible concepts, and we're going to go with the accidental one. Mason, who was a former Dota 2 professional player, was referring to an item called Aghanim's Sector. I probably pronounced that wrong, but eggs is the shortened version of that. You talk about eggs as the item. And as he was on stream, he tried to say, I was never a fan of the eggs, but he started to accidentally blend together fan and eggs, became a homophobic slur, and he got a 7-day ban. Intent! Intent matters. And
that sucks for a verbal slip up.
Yes.
But as someone
Like-
that works for a large company and they
Well,
talked about
things-
HR policies and things.
He realized it immediately. He said, "That is not what I meant to say. Oh my god, I'm so sorry." And he checked with a Twitch moderator in the moment, and they were like, "No, you're fine." But he got a ban after the fact. But like, if you it does make a difference. If he just said that and tried to go on whatever, okay. But he realized what he said and was like, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I did not mean to say that."
It's one of those things of like, we got that self-report, says Demon Dragon. We got told pretty much by the larger company that I do work for, my day job.
Yeah.
As I call it, my 9 to 5. That regardless of what, and a lot of companies bear this one, that regardless of what your intention was, what occurred.
Mm-hmm.
And it's that old adage by a old comedian who no longer gets referenced and gets credit for this, but you can't unbreak a plate. You can't apologize to a plate after you've shattered it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can try to put it back together, but it's not going to be the same. So it sucks that especially happened, and I do hope that tricky verbiage and wordplay doesn't cause something like that, because it's clear that if they've made it big enough, especially in the Dota community, which has a lot of internet japes and tapestry behind it, and so, you know, memes are memes, and then 2 years later they're not appropriate.
Yeah. I have an interesting, actually, I have a side, an anecdote from someone that I think does apply for that metaphor. You can't unbreak a plate. He was telling a story about his personal growth, and he ended up breaking someone's coffee table and sort of like blowing it off.
Yeah.
This coffee table was a very special gift to the people whose it was, and he just kind of, oh, it's no big deal, whatever. And they took him aside and said, "This was a big deal. You've done this kind of thing before. Something needs to happen." And that was like his moment of things need to change.
Yeah.
And so he unbroke the coffee table. He, with his amateur woodworking skills, set out to fix it, to make it better, to make things right. And I think depending on what happens, you can make things right if something happens. But that doesn't mean that it didn't happen in the first place. So yes, there is that.
Demon Dragon wanting to know the
source of your original quote.
I'll type his name because I'm not going to give him the airtime, but
fair. Yep. Okay. That's talk about being unable to unbreak the plate.
Yeah, especially as somebody that was involved with a lot of stand-up in a lot of areas and things like that. The general consensus from the stand-up community is also that one thing, but then it's also that, hey, like, he did some kind of shit things and
yeah. Fair. Anyway, so yes, that is that. Accidentally saying something got a 7-day ban. It's not a lifetime ban. He's trying to appeal it and to get unbanned sooner. But if it stands as it is a 7-day ban.
I have a feeling it'll get appealed in that, like, 2 days before it's supposed to actually be time served in regards to the ban.
Here you go.
It'll get uplifted, and I think the strike will get struck from the account. Because I think that's honestly...
That's the bigger scare.
Yeah, that's more important because Twitch has a baseball of 3 strikes, and you're gone.
3 strikes within a certain time period.
Yes. But still, 3 strikes and you're out.
Yes, yeah, exactly. He has had a ban before. I think last year he also had a 7-day ban. I don't know what that one was for. But cool. Dave, what of interest is coming out this week?
So, I'm trying not to just sit here and list off games, especially because there's a lot of them, and there's a lot of things that catch a lot of people's attention, and I'm very excited for that. So I'm just going to pick out the 2 that in the next 7 days have my ear, and I would love if you guys have any that catch your attention. On the 15th, for Windows, Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, iOS, and Android, Square Enix is going to be releasing the Sega Frontier Remastered. It was a PlayStation 1 title released in 1997 in Japan, 1998 in North America. It used a free scenario system, which today is very common. You have 7 main characters, and you can pick any of those 7 and play out their storyline, and then go back and try another one. At the time, very few games were doing that.
Yeah.
It was one whole threaded story, and sometimes you would switch between characters in the composition of that game.
Yes, yeah.
I didn't actually play Sega Frontier, the full game. I did, however, in my old PlayStation Magazine subscription, get a demo disc that had a really cool intro graphic that would play every time you would play the disc, and then a 30-minute gameplay demo.
Did you have a favorite demo disc? Like maybe a favorite demo that was on a disc, or just like a disc that you remember getting in a magazine forever ago that had a lot of good stuff.
So it's the same idea. PlayStation Magazine used to send out physical media because that's how you got it.
Yep.
And it was this one, actually. It had Sega Frontier and Bushido Blade.
Nice.
And I played Bushido Blade to no end on that. And I burnt it out. And then thankfully, Vladdy here in chat was able to help me track down a copy of Bushido Blade and Bushido Blade 2, The Worsening. And then we figured out that game's arbitrary coding and interactions. What about you? Did you have and chat?
So I remember, I did get some official Xbox Magazine demos, and I don't really remember what I got from OXM. I remember I got a bunch of demo discs, and they're around somewhere. What I remember was a couple of discs that we got with Computer Gaming World. We didn't have a subscription, but like 2 months in a row, my dad got the magazine, got the demo disc with that.
Nice.
And I don't remember which was on which disc, but I remember those 2 discs collectively had like Roll Cage, Revolt.
Nice.
Had Draken, which was a ride your dragon around the countryside RPG. Had a few others, and just like those 2 discs together had so much awesome stuff on it. And then obviously, I say Roll Cage, and Grip came out a couple years ago. I'm a huge Roll Cage fan, and Revolt, which is the RC car thing. I was never one for time trials, but when we had that demo disc, me, my dad, and my sister would do races in Revolt on the one track between the 3 cars that we had available of us to see who could get the best times out of the 3 of us.
Yeah. So I'll read Demon Dragons if you can read Dude Icarus's answer. Demon Dragon says, I got a demo for one of those wildlife vet games that I never got the full version, but I would play the demo a lot.
Nice. Dude Icarus says, the Big Blue Pizza Hut one. I don't remember my dad getting it, but I have it somewhere. Very nice.
Okay, so there's from the improv topic from last week.
Yeah!
Steve,
oh my god, yeah, we were talking.
This is how you can tell that you, the audience, and me all grew up in very different areas. That in my head, I'm like, hey, the Pizza Hut demos, they used to be like, oh, you want a pie? Here's a CD-ROM. And everybody would be like
yeah.
Here you go, kids.
What is this, a Frisbee? Yeah.
Merry Hanukkah.
Merry Pizza Day. You get this instead of one of your 15 slices that you're going to eat because you're a growing kid. Dude, I could house Pizza Hut pizzas back in the day. If I hit a Pizza Hut buffet, there was a decent chance I would eat 2 pies worth.
I love Pizza Days. It's more like rigor mortis. I could still house a pizza, but I would pay the price for it for the rest of the week.
Yeah, absolutely. When Steph and I order from a pizzeria, we could order a large pizza and each eat half of it, but I don't have the self-control, and sometimes Steph doesn't either, but I'm worse about it, to just be like, yeah, we're going to save some of those for later. No. So we'll order a medium pizza. That's our portion control if we're each going to eat half anyway.
Yeah. Love it. Love to share it, and love to hear from you folks. Thank you, everyone. Definitely could get my money's worth from Pizza Hut buffet back in the day.
Yeah.
I never had that experience. In the same vein that never had the experience of Walmart with lobster tanks in them. There's photographic evidence of it happening everywhere.
Here's one that I have experience with that Steph has no idea. The Super Bar in Wendy's. Was that a thing that you remember? Like a salad bar?
Yes!
Yes.
So
I would do that all the time. I didn't care about Wendy's burgers. If I wanted a fast food burger, I'd go to McDonald's or Burger King or something. I would always get the Super Bar.
Welcome to the Nerd Glasses. You never know what we're going to get inspired by, but my local town Wendy's, actually, it was a 45-minute drive away, but it used to be a Roy Rogers. And then
Okay.
Roy Rogers did we're now at every single major exit.
Yeah.
By the way, when everyone's vaccinated, we're taking a trip to New Baltimore's exit to get the best Roy Rogers. Claire always hates it, but as we're driving past, I'm like, babe, don't you have to go to the bathroom? I don't know why I'm looking left like I'm in some sort of British car. Babe, don't you have to go to the bathroom? And she's like,
It's
no.
because you don't want to look in my direction and say babe, and that's okay. I understand.
Oh no, I address boater as something very different. Tune into youtube.com/boaterbug for those various call names. But she always goes, no, and I'm like, there goes the greatest exit on the Northway.
I've always wanted to get rich and buy all the lobsters in a tank and then hide them all over the store, place it behind the Fruit Loops. My town had one of the last Roy Rogers that wasn't at a throughway rest stop. And then, Dave, what's our shipping name?
Damn bug.
Yeah,
It's
damn bug. Damn bug. Yeah, and Dude Icarus, when you find that demo disc, let us know. We'd love to just like witness it, and then also just like what's on it. I'd love to know. Of course, you can also post that in our Discord. The Discord link is below, so you can join the Insane Games TV Discord. Continue the conversation after the show. Unfortunately, our Discord server is not an NSFW Discord server. So if you are on iPhone, you can still join it and look at it. Because that is not the case anymore. If you try to join a server that the entire server is not safe for work, you can no longer, in the iOS Discord app, join that server or look at that server. And this is because of Apple App Store policy. It's meant to protect minors, but even if you can prove that you're an adult, they're still like, nope, you can't do it on that app. And this is somewhat similar to why Tumblr had a huge purge a couple of years ago. It was started because of iPhone. That said, they did also definitely have a porn problem on Tumblr that I'm not going to go into the specifics of. But
Never really used Tumblr, so I don't have any.
Yeah, I don't have first-hand experience with it, but there was a big brouhaha about it. And it's so yeah, like because of iOS store policies, and it's an app in the iOS store, Apple is using their monopolistic might to say that you can't. I think you can still go to Discord in the browser and log in and still use it there on like Safari or something.
Yeah.
But it is a little harder, not quite as well integrated. And honestly, what Discord should do, and I don't know if they do, is when you try to go to that server, they just put up a big splash screen that just says, Apple won't let us show you this. Bring it up with them. Just throw Apple under the bus.
The problem is people will get mad at Apple, but they'll get more mad at Discord.
Well, that's why Discord needs to head it off at the pass. Like, we want to show you your server, your membership, because this impacts a lot of new artists. Like, there's a big niche out there for NSFW artists, and people accessing stuff on their phones as their primary access for Discord and whatever is pretty common. So this does impact the livelihood.
This is an infinitely more accessible supercomputer
Yeah.
than, especially nowadays, but in general of like, do I buy a laptop, or do I just, upgrade my phone bill every month to an extra like $20 and get a really good phone or really powerful phone?
$30 a month at Mint Mobile is unlimited data they just released. So
Can we try to see if we can get Insane Games TV a Mint Mobile sponsorship?
That would be great.
Because I bet if we send a lot of videos of all of us goofing around here, Ryan Reynolds would appear.
I still have our Christmas card from Ryan Reynolds as Mint subscribers hanging on our fridge. Just one more reason to stay with Android, says Demon Dragon, who's going to be ordering a new phone in the next couple days.
What's going on, Amp Slayer, by the way? Sending the lulz.
So yeah, that's Discord blocking iOS users from accessing not safe for work servers because Apple says so.
I do. You know what? I'll blast this topic a lot on Tuesday.
Okay.
But this time
on Tuesday? You mean Monday? Huh? Today's Tuesday.
Yes.
Okay.
Next Nerd Glasses, there's going to be a game
Okay.
coming out that I am
Oh, I see.
very
Okay.
excited for and cannot wait to share with everybody and share the developments around it as it pertains to my involvement in Insane Games TV and my personal streaming and friendos out there who are doing things. Tweet Ryan Reynolds, get that sponsor.
Hashtag not sponsored. Hashtag but we could be.
I mean, Burger King ignored the Weekend Wednesday. Ryan Reynolds will not ignore Insane Games.
Well, that was a very definitive statement. Go ahead. We keep getting sidetracked. It's the day for it. It's Tuesday. Who needs a topic?
But that's the thing that I love about this podcast is, guys, it's the program that we build together every week. It doesn't have to be, just current events, just gaming, just this, just that. It's
The Nerd Glasses.
literally whatever comes out of the hat.
The Nerd Glasses podcast changes as we find stuff that we enjoy doing and that you enjoy watching. Like the stuff from the hat has been big over the past month because we've all enjoyed it. Please remember to leave us topics in the Discord down below, accessible on all platforms. And maybe eventually, like if you guys get sick and tired of Twitch bans being like, somebody said a naughty word and this person got streamed for revealing attire, but not for their hot tub stream, so that meta's still going, because that also happened this last week. Let us know, please. We live on your feedback. We want to hear what are you enjoying out of each show, and what are you getting sick of. If you're getting sick of us, too friggin' bad. But if you're getting sick of a specific segment, let us know.
I'd like to announce
That landed.
that we are retiring from nothing.
Give me that mic.
I really enjoy how many of these over the years I have built for conventions and things.
Oh, I probably
And,
shouldn't actually drop that.
Oh, you can. You
Oh,
can.
okay.
It doesn't. It's made to do that so that it doesn't permanently break.
Okay.
But yeah. So much
Go ahead and
gaming
start talking. I'm gonna pick
has
up my
occurred in the last 7 days, and I'm very excited for all these topics. But 14 years ago, a game came out, a game that changed the way that I personally played video games, and some of you folks at home, hang on, I'll do the. Thanks there, Gene. 14 years ago, a game came out. A game that made people say, wow, this Halo thing's got some legs. That game was Halo 3. And everybody played it and everyone knew it was the cream of the crop. And it would rise to the top. But as of earlier this week, 343 Industries added a new multiplayer map to Halo 3.
As a reminder, 343 Industries didn't even develop Halo 3. They wouldn't get involved in they wouldn't exist and be developing Halo for another 4 years?
4 to 5.
I found the Pizza Hut one, a weird purple one, and one of noodles. Wow.
Steve,
Demo discs!
we'll have to have you on sometime to tell us about the games.
We should I should just do a Citadel of just playing a demo disc.
I mean,
That would be amazing. Just a different demo disc every week?
I mean-
what crap can we find?
or that could be a St. Jude's thing.
That could be a
Every
St. Jude
single
thing.
time someone donates, you have to switch to a different game.
No, but then if I land on a really good game, no one's going to donate.
Nope. No, they will. They will. Trust me, I had to eat 4.5 pounds of bad almonds. All right, folks, so you know where you're gonna find this Halo map. It's not on Xbox Network. It's not gonna be on your 360s. It's gonna be this Sunday in the Superdome. No! It's gonna be on the Halo remastered game in the Master Chief Collection. Try it out. I looked at it. It looked pretty fun, but I couldn't.
I just love the idea that they're still like, They decided to release a map for Halo 3. Not Halo Reach, which came out afterward. Not Halo 4, which was the first one that they developed. Not Halo 5, which was the most recent one that they developed. And not saving it for Halo Infinite, which is coming out sometime.
Is 343 doing Halo Infinite?
I assume 343's whole shtick is they do Halo.
I mean, what a lofty IP to have dropped on your shoulders and like, do it right or don't do it at all. Like,
well, I mean, it's 343 is just the branding of like, hey, Bungie's gone, but we still have Halo. We need to develop it. You guys, like, whether it's you are a development studio now and here's Halo, or 343 is the branding that says, hey, you other development studio, ghost produce this for us.
So we do have to think about that though. Like, man, what a legacy to have to live up to, at least in my opinion.
I think they've been doing really well with it personally. Even if they literally only had one mainline Halo game drop last generation, because Halo 4 was a 360 game. Halo 5 was Xbox One, and Halo Infinite's the next one. What?
That version of this story is not true.
Yeah, that's also from 2019.
Yes. Which is interesting because it's recently resurfaced. So, what Boder and I are teasing you with is one of the titles from tonight's stream, one of the main event stories for you. So we've been talking about how different companies have been pairing up and the power struggle between Microsoft and Sony as every year. And there's Nintendo over in the corner going like, we would still like to play, but we're not going to,
Yeah, it's like, you guys are having fun over there. That looks really fun. I'm going to be over here with my paddle and ball. Hey, everyone seems to like me in the paddle and ball.
It's me! But some rumors have surfaced from industry insiders and reporters who do get some memos slid across their desk and, talk to people in the industry that the Xbox Network will be coming to the Nintendo Switch. In what form or function it's going to take, there are no specifications, but right now it's just Microsoft executives and Nintendo executives are sitting in a room together and
talking
discussing
about something,
doing something together, which hasn't happened before.
Yeah. So there was a what was it? So a photo even that Phil Spencer put out. He's basically the publicity head of Xbox. If there's someone talking about something that Xbox is doing, it's Phil Spencer. And there was a bunch of stuff on shelves behind him, and each thing was there for a reason, whether it was an upcoming game or whatever. And there was a Nintendo Switch on the shelf behind him. And I think that that's all that we know for sure when someone said everything that was there on purpose. We don't know if it's going to be Xbox Network coming to Switch. We don't know if they're going to collaborate on a game. I don't think anything is known except that people are talking.
And it stands to reason and does a lot of these things. What do you guys think that's going to look like? I can play Xbox on Switch.
I think if it ends up being Xbox Network comes to Switch, then number one, it's going to be a lot better online use than the Nintendo's current thing.
That would be a big thing for Nintendo if they used Microsoft's online matchmaking and things for these games.
Because right now, there is, I think, some games that can do crossplay, but it's always on a game-by-game basis.
Yes, it's not a system-by-system.
Yeah, if they just announce that any game that comes out on both Xbox and Switch can crossplay, there we go, then that would make a lot of people happy, and they don't have to go more in-depth than that.
Looking forward to it. We will keep our ears peaked for further developments on this. And don't despair thinking poor Sony is going to get left out in the dust, because Sony has decided. Now you know what this is. We're talking about Epic Games. So Sony has decided to join up with the golden goose that craps out the golden eggs. Because Epic Games has secured $1 billion of funding, and $200 million of that was from Sony corporate. Sony and Epic Games have worked together for a long time on Fortnite. You've got Kratos on the game a year ago. You have the main character from
Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yes,
character.
she was the most recent announced character crossing in there. So don't get confused. Sony is backing our sister company Epic Games on this.
You're getting very Irish with that.
But
I mean, you still got the inflection right, but your vowels are very Irish.
well,
Okay.
watch more Macho Man Randy Savage. You'll hear it. So as
Yes,
as
Aloy is the character from Horizon Zero Dawn, or I could pronounce that wrong. I apologize. More like Rigor Mortis knows. I need to play that game. She keeps telling me I need to play that game. But yeah, it is in Fortnite. So yeah, okay. So what are they raising the funding for?
So they are attempting to continue to build on what they are calling a metaverse. And right now, basically what it is so the description they're using is there was a concert in Fortnite.
Yep.
And they have all these ambitious ideas for future projects and games and crossovers with the Epic IPs and being able to make a video game more than just a controller player, keyboard player experience.
Okay.
So that is the overarching thing that they are talking about right now, is trying to continue on and grow in these avenues and pursue a la Valve and things like that.
Yeah. Okay.
So this was their most recent, hey, we're going to be doing a lot of different things. Who wants to get in on it? And the strategic investment.
And right now Epic is a big name, so of course capital investment just like flows into their pockets.
Yes. And it makes sense for these consoles because right now, PlayStation 5 and the Series X, it's all about the futures. There's games announced and things like that people are looking forward to and playing currently or got delayed and things like that. But it's all about what's coming within the lifespan of the console. And let's be totally honest, Epic Games is not a bad developer to have in your corner or in your pocket, respectively, if you're trying to make your system bigger than the other guys.
I don't like their business shenanigans, but as a game developer, I definitely respect them and like what they do.
Exactly.
Which is kind of like saying, "Oh, I really like Tesla, how the cars that they make, but God, if Elon Musk could just shut up once in a while." So as long as we're talking about the big three, Microsoft, Sony, Nintendo.
Yeah.
Nintendo did have a bit of an announcement today. In fact, I saw something yesterday that either was a direct response to this or a coincidental precursor where they said, "Release a purple Switch, you cowards." And they showed pictures of like the GameCube and the Game Boy Advance that were like that purple.
Yeah.
Well, today, a blue Switch Lite was announced. It is not quite the exact same shade of purple as that classic GameCube purple or the Game Boy Advance. It is slightly bluer, but now added to the color of the lineup of colors, along with coral and some like canary yellow and stuff like that. There is now a blue that is only a couple shades off of that nice classic purple. Now the next thing that I would want from that is translucent, please. I want to see the guts. Translucent fell out of fashion in the mid 2000s, and I want it to come back.
I think purely spitballing here because as everyone knows, I'm big in the electronics world, so I know about this stuff. But do you notice that translucent kind of went the way of the dodo when everything started being this size? Because like people would definitely be like, I'm going to spend $300 on this. Oh, there's only like 4 things in here.
Well, I mean, like, a console, it would still work well to do. Like, your phone, no. It's a screen and a circuit board and a battery. There's not much flashy in there. But, like, with the actuators that are in the Switch controls, with seeing all that under there, with certainly controllers.
Yeah.
Like, Xbox or PlayStation translucent, like, again, like, in my mind, the peak of translucent electronics was the colorful iMacs.
Yeah.
That had like the translucent, colorful shell that were really cool. Like that was the peak, and everything else has been chasing that high. And I want it to come back.
Dude, Icarus, I can't wait for Switch lights to not be $200 and more common than
bread.
bread, so I can collect them all. Because I mean, if there's one thing Nintendo stuff do, it's boom or bust.
Yep.
Can't find any amiibos, but there are 1.5 billion of these Mario Kart Live things just laying around everywhere. Can't find any Switches, but the Wii U would like to play a lot and often.
I know people that have like a collection of every N64 that's been released, kind of thing. Like all the translucent colors, like the Donkey Kong 64 green one.
The Atomic Purple.
Yep.
The Smoke one, which is now apparently the...
Racer, Star Wars Racer, I think, had a specific one.
God.
So.
Switch lights are now Pokemon, says Steven Dragon.
It's slightly related note to the Star Wars Racer N64. Dave, what edition PS4 did you get in today?
So
at the store?
On Sunday, Steve actually, we talked about this on Nerd Glasses yesterday, but it bears
behind
repeating.
The counter.
Thank you so much, Steve, for being the guy to go out and grab it for the store. But right now, on sale here at your local Insane Games here in the Wilton Mall, is a 1 terabyte PlayStation 4 Pro Star Wars edition.
The Star Wars Squadrons edition, Rebel, Imperial, and the Squadrons logo in the middle. It looks swanky as hell.
The matching original controller to boot.
We already have a PS4 Pro. I don't need it. I don't need it. I don't need it.
It's
saving up
so
for a
cool.
Series X.
It's so cool.
Dave, I mentioned saving up for a Series X, but one of us has a next generation console.
Yes, Vladdy. your Series X, your Series S that you were bragging so much about like a month ago fell very silent. Gone to the waysides, has it?
We have a better PS4 Pro. That's goddamn right.
So now I've had... Yeah, I barely play it now, says Vladdy. Vladdy,
wow.
You're supposed to make it sound like you're still in the elite. You still... Like, no one else has a Series anything other than Dan.
Yeah.
So, it's been now 2-3 weeks. I still got one, and you don't. Vladdy, sticking the landing. We're sticking the recovery.
Yep.
And I gotta say, I'm really enjoying it. As a console, I decided to pass on my PS4 to some family of mine so that it can continue to be used just as frequently as it was when it was my main console by them. And so I'm really hyped about all of that and getting to know that the PS4 is going to continue to have a life.
Yep.
But just the fact that, like, so many of the games that I've put into the 5, and so many of them, my physical PS4 copies, and then I get a prompt. By the way, do you want to upgrade to the PS5 edition of this for free?
Yeah.
Better graphics, better gameplay, quicker load times. So, of course, I did.
Yeah, of course.
And, like, there were some people online that were saying, like, if you don't have a 4K TV, what's the point? You won't notice the difference. And I can say, as somebody that played Tony Hawk's Pro Skater on the 4, and then played it now on my PS5 on the exact same TV, there is a noticeable difference.
Yeah.
It does play better. When I opened it 2 weeks ago on the weekend Wednesday, the Godzilla 2013 game booted up quicker than it did when it was on the original system. There's something to these next gen consoles And I will say, folks,
They're
are
getting
worth...
iterative. They're not like big revolutionary jumps, but they are big steps.
Exactly. And I will say, for my dollar, the next-gen consoles are worth it. They are not worth a scalper price tag and things like that, because they aren't just an enormous leap to the next thing, but they are a lot of fun, and they will be worth the wait once you get one.
And I like that. I think Xbox does that as well, where like if you get a game and it doesn't say Xbox One or Xbox Series X, it just says Xbox on the thing. And so like I don't need to worry about, you know, the Mass Effect Legendary Edition comes out May 14th. They released a trailer that shows the difference between old and new, and oh my god. And I'm like, I can just get that on my Xbox One right now. And then it will do not just, backwards compatible, whatever, but will play the Xbox Series X version when I get a Series X. Probably this upcoming holiday. But between that and then the remastered Control with all of the DLC in it, like that's what's on my list right now for a Series X. But, again, the fact that I can just get Legendary Edition right now on my One and then upgrade it later is a really nice consumer-friendly approach.
The $10 price tag increase for some AAA games, I now own 2 PlayStation 5 games. I'm not going to say which ones they are, because they are both going to be games that you will see here live on Insane Games TV soon.
Yep.
But the price tag increase was not as much of a sticker shock as I thought it was going to be when buying outright and with no discounts 2 base cost
games have been $60 in the US for a very long time. So as much as it always stings when it goes up, it's not. It's fine.
It's
fine.
another $10. Throw it in there. Let's move on.
Yeah.
But I remember when we were first talking about this, it was like, is this going to cause the total at the end of it after taxes and everything? It's not that much of a sticker shock change from when you would buy anything else, in my opinion. However, I know that will just price of entry will be a deterrent for some people for some
They gotta
time.
chill on microtransaction costs, though.
Yes.
Like, okay, we're paying more for it out the gate. You can chill on all the crap you've been trying to use to excuse.
I will say, though, and this just to, man, those microtransaction costs have really set up like a certain barrier of entry. But when Steam puts all that stuff on sale, it causes like that Finding Nemo guy when the bubble chest opened, he's like, bubbles, and he's just grabbing all of them. Me and a bunch of people just, Dead by Daylight's $10, and like we scrambled and snapped up so much of the game, the DLC, crap like that, and a lot of us,
and again, DLC I'm fine with. It's
well, like we wound up scrambling for so much of it because it's like one of those like, it's on sale, it's a deal now. Like,
yeah, absolutely. Dave, do you want to venture into the fiction zone, or do you have anything else before we get there?
Sony, just one more thing of
Sure.
Sony has been kind of irking me personally.
Yeah.
Because if everyone remembers, a couple of years ago, we talked about what their game of the year and things like that was. Mine was Days Gone, and I loved it, and I looked greatly forward to it. Sony has said we are not interested in pursuing the Days Gone 2 pitch that was originally done. And it does appear that Kojima's pitch for his next Kojima Studios project may have gotten the same reception from Sony, because there are rumors that he is now shopping to Microsoft with another concept game. I will shudder to think that if Kojima comes up with mechanics similar to that in Death Stranding, and things like that, that it will be received with open arms from Microsoft. But at the same point, it is an arms race right now, and a Kojima title does have a loyal following, regardless of it.
Yeah, regardless of where it is. I'm sure there were plenty of people that got a PS4 because of Death Stranding.
Yes. Or even just got a PS4 because they knew there was going to be a Kojima title.
Oh, yeah.
Before
before it was out, yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see there is no, once again, just like the Microsoft X Nintendo, Microsoft executives are seemingly just doing round-the-clock meetings with big industry names right now.
Yeah, I mean, again, there was the ZeniMax purchase. Like, Microsoft is working really hard to bring value to their name. So,
I'm greatly looking forward to future ones, but we're going to roll into a segment we've been using the last couple of weeks to close out the program. It is Topics from a Hat.
the hat trick, topics from a hat, whatever you want to call it.
Any topic that we discuss for the rest of the program is purely work of fiction, but if it turns out to be true, we told you so.
Yeah, we are making no claims. We are not looking into our crystal ball. We are bullshitting for the last 10 minutes of this show, and we are having fun. But sometimes reality is stranger than fiction. So, with those caveats out of the way, Dave, grab a piece of paper.
In the future, if you have any stories, you can pull up out of the Hat Trick Topics discussion board here on Discord for Insane Games TV and pitch some to us. This is one of mine. Whoops. So, Boater, big announcements in the Pokemon world that they have come to the conclusion of what they're going to call a rumor. A memo was floated about the next console generation Pokemon games, the Red versus Blue,
Yeah.
the Ruby and Sapphire, the White and Black,
Yep,
the
yep.
White 2 and Black 2, and now it's going
Sword
to
and
be
Shield, yep.
Bitcoin and Dogecoin Pokemon. I'm looking greatly forward to seeing how they will get around legal ledgers about this, or if they're going to just totally jump the shark and now you're going to be just collecting cryptocurrency instead of
Yeah.
Pokemon.
It's all NFTs that say you own a Pikachu. Yeah.
Oh my god, that'll be amazing!
Crypto nerd moment. Dogecoin is a really weird choice when what is it, Ethereum or whatever is right there. But also, here's the thing. My big problem with crypto is its power generation
Yeah.
and how it's really bad for
Yep.
climate change. In the Pokemon world, you just take a few electric types and hook them up to your generators, and it's fine. Get to work, Zapdos. I don't care if you're a god. Me. Any electric type other than Pikachu. Zapdos. Okay. Here, this one isn't crumpled really tight. It must not be one of mine. Well, tying into that, if you don't have cryptocurrency, there are plenty of ways to obtain it. And pretty soon, in an effort to stay relevant, GameStop will now be offering Dogecoin for your trade-ins. Which I mention is really funny because Dogecoin at the moment is worth a lot, but is very easily devalued, just like your trade-in. You can buy a Dogecoin for $100 and they're like, cool, we'll give you Madden 04 for it. That's a way to get your crypto, I guess. And then you take whatever you get from GameStop and then you bring it to Professor Oak and he's like, I can give you a Rattata. Nailed it.
This one coming in from our reporter out and about, Vladdy93, stating that he has physical photos that Final Fantasy will now be getting 1/2 installments. Just like Kingdom Hearts had 1.5, 1.6, you can look forward to, and Vladdy has said that he had a copy in his hands until that the proverbial little green men came around and grabbed it from him. Final Fantasy HD 4K 1.5 plus 2.5 equals 5 Epilogue Chapter 1 The Sequel. Vladdy,
that title landed. Oh my god.
Bravo, Vladdy, bravo.
Oh my god.
So, looking greatly forward to seeing what Microsoft doesn't want to do because, you know, once you get to 16 installments, you've made too many.
The latest. Meanwhile, there's always rumors flying about who is going to be in Smash Brothers. Like, there's always like. No other game gets this kind of rumor mill, this cachet of who is going to be in it, but Smash Brothers does. And the latest is going to be Squirrel Girl.
God!
A character that I have very little familiarity with, but I'm sure you could go off on for about hours.
She went toe-to-toe and defeated Thanos, Galactus, Doctor Doom, and many other Marvel heavyweights. And her comic franchise is just adorable. The indispensable Squirrel Girl will be coming to Smash, and I cannot wait. I love
just like every week we could just have a so-and-so coming to Smash topic.
By the power of squirrels. I'd play that game so hard, says Demon Dragon, in regards to that... You know, Boater, I just getting a fax here to Insane Games TV.
A fax? That's appropriate for that news.
A fax. You know, they tried to telex it to us, but telex is down today. But we're getting Steve on fixing the telex in the office. That GameStop's offering Dogecoin. But Sega's getting back into the console games, baby.
Oh man!
They have decided.
Are they doing something from scratch, or?
Oh God, no. They have decided to go to the industry heavy hitters, and the people that know game consoles. They know how to make an entry and a splash. They have purchased all of the further distribution rights and the creation rights to the Ouya for a whopping American $2.53. My God, Sega has truly been saving up those Nintendo ducats. And congratulations to you, Sega, for getting back into the pool. I know Vladdy and I will certainly be looking forward to playing the one game you developed for it.
I'm pretty sure that they wanted to get Stadia, but like then when Stadia went for sale and Microsoft started the bidding at $10, Sega was like, "Ooh, too rich for my blood."
The paddle went halfway up, the paddle went back down, they got up and left the room.
So it's funny, of course, that we had Smash as an announcement for who would be coming to Smash, because going the other way, talking about a rumor for that Nintendo and Microsoft news, there was a leak that there would be a Nintendo character in a Microsoft game.
Oh?
Coming to Forza Horizon 5, Waluigi's cart.
Wow!
Can't make it in his own house, so he's got to go across the road and play in Microsoft's backyard.
So you're saying there's a chance that we'll get Waluigi in PlayStation All-Stars, and he'll finally get into a Smash game.
No, it was basically like, oh yes, Nintendo's like, oh yes, we'll take Master Chief and put him into Smash. You can have, here. Yay!
Wow!
Oh, that is
You
that.
know what?
That is the hat emptied.
I look at our time, and unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, Death Stranding, we just ran entirely out of time for you.
Maybe we'll get the chance to talk about your successor on Xbox, or maybe not.
Next time. Funny enough, this unopened copy was traded into the store along with that really cool PS4 Pro. But Death Stranding, we'll talk about you next week. Don't worry. Vladdy will certainly validate your parking. Chat, if you could get on that, that would be great.
Yeah.
And Boater, what's going on next on the Citadel?
Next on the Citadel is Dragon Age 2. We'll get this actually set up into the... get back there. Please don't fall off the table. Okay, great.
Please don't fall off the table and shatter. We just got those monitors.
So just working on the rotation. I know we're in Act 3. I forget where we were because that's what happens after 3 weeks. I feel like every 2 weeks I'd manage to keep stuff in my head, but 3, it's just, nope, it's gone. But yeah, it's been going well, and we're just going to pick it back up. So
nice.
Dragon Age 2 on the Citadel. Of course, what happens is that we go offline, And about 5 minutes later, the 10-minute countdown for the Citadel starts, and then I stream until somewhere between 11 or 12 o'clock Eastern as we close out the Tuesday night here at Insane Games TV. So, whoop. Sherry's trying to attack the table. So yeah, that has been the Nerd Glasses podcast. Thank you all so much for dropping in today. We had a lot of great conversation. We had a lot of good laughs.
As we do every week.
And if you're interested in seeing me work on the Towers of Hanoi as well, I know that it is not in Dragon Age 2, but I can do it on the Citadel with the little physical props. So just ask me about that. In the meantime, guys, make sure that you are following right here at Insane Games TV for all of the awesome shows and streamers and hashtag content that we've got on the network 7 days a week, every weekday starting at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Tune in tomorrow for Retro Wednesday, the Weekend Wednesday, the Dream Team. I will be back here on Tuesday, but again, I'm on the Citadel immediately afterwards, so I hope to see you there. Thank you all so much for watching. Have a good one. We'll see you next time, 7 o'clock Eastern, next Tuesday, right here on the Nerd Glasses podcast. Oh, I thought you were going to do a voice.